Hey, I'm Tesla, and I'm going to review how my low spend month went in February. I had posted my rules and expectations for myself, and I'm just going to share with you how I did. I did not do perfectly by any means, but I at least tried. As with any end of month wrap up video, I'll cover my income. I made $5,026.19 in February, which is a lot more than I expected. I use a Discover credit card where you get cash back, 1% cash back on everything you buy, and then 5% cash back on certain categories throughout the year. And along with giving you 15 months of no interest, they also match all of your cash back at the end of the first year. Well, I hit my first year, and so they matched $353.49. So that's about a total of $707 in rewards. I have a referral link in my link tree if you are looking for a very simple rewards credit card, and only if you think you can, be responsible along the way. After that, I got a belated birthday gift of $150, which was kind and unexpected. And then my account currently pays me like 3.6% interest, so I made $115.96 off interest, and rest is my usual salary amount. I was budgeting $55. I put $96 towards it, so I put $41 extra towards my credit card. So I think that would be almost maybe almost 2% of my income. Not very much, but still at least a little bit extra towards debt. Moving on to sinking funds, I believe my monthly goal is to try to reach like $350, and it's been a rocky road so far these past few months, which is why I wanted to get back on track in February. So YNAB calls it the More Money Challenge. You may know it as like just a low spend sort of challenge, whatever you want to call it. I think the claim is that a lot of people save an extra $1,000 than what they would normally save. I did not quite make it there because I did make mistakes that you'll see in my expenses, but I saved a total of $1,271.83. And I think this month I had budgeted $254, but if it had been $350, like I would normally try to aim for, that would be a difference of like $922, I think, more than I would have hoped for. But still, it does feel like a lot to me. So in January, I had to replace my tires, which cost $900. And that's basically where all my birthday money went to. Very grateful that people decided to treat me, even though I'm nearly 30 and they definitely don't owe me any birthday money. But I was trying to replenish my auto care fund in January, but I still had a little bit of ways to go, which is why I wanted to do this challenge in February. So rounding the numbers, I put $128 in auto care, which completely replenishes the fund. I put $46 towards Christmas presents, $256 towards memberships, $365 towards medical care, $79 for emergencies, and then furniture, I put $399. So many of these things are like long-term goals that, I won't be able to like pull from them until the end of the year, but I am at least on track, if not ahead, for all of my sinking funds, or at least I was by the end of February. Now that it's nearly the end of March, some things have happened, but that doesn't take away from the successes that I had in February. Moving on to expenses, I had made this Google Sheet to remind myself of my why, my rules, and then keep track of my successful days. I had 24 frugal days where I only spent on necessities, and then I had 4 oops days where I did not stick to my rules. There was a day where I bought dog treats, and knowing that it would throw off my budget, but I was at a local shop and I gave treats to all the dogs in my life, and that was $8.66. This was specifically on my no-buy list, but I knew it and I did it anyway, so I don't have any excuses other than I knew it would make the dogs happy. Then on the 14th, I tried to be slick and I failed. If you have watched my videos, you know that I love to eat out, and food apps will often give you a free item if you download their app. So I thought it would be like kind of like my sneaky way of getting food for free, like hacking the system, but there are time limits and those coupons expire actually very quickly. I placed an order for a smoothie, but my coupon, of course, had expired and they couldn't put it through. So then I paid $6.27 for like a 16-ounce smoothie. And I guess I'm in the wrong business because if I owned a smoothie franchise, I guess I'd be rich. Like the profit margins on those smoothies, they must be insane. On that day, a subscription expired also, but I'll get more into that because subscriptions were like, they were a whole thing this month. And then skipping around a little bit, so part of the rules was no dining out, no exceptions. I made an exception several times besides the Smoothie King. So I went to Chick-fil-A one day and Taco Bell the next day. So one day I forgot to bring my lunch to work. I had cooked everything, and then as soon as I woke up, I grabbed the food out of the fridge and I put it on the couch to grab on my way out once I was done getting ready. But I totally forgot about the food, and the food just went rotten throughout the day, and I had to throw it away. So, and then the next day, there was not even any reason for me to do it because I was working from home and I had groceries, but I just like those Taco Bell commercials. Okay, so YouTube Premium without the commercials, like YouTube Premium is expensive, but the amount of Taco Bell commercials I get on YouTube and then that makes me want Taco Bell, I'm like, maybe it's just worth it not to get the ads. I don't know. But the Taco Bell algorithm has me in its chokehold, and I just did it. Especially because I was so close to the challenge being over, you know? I was like, oh, I'm so close, why not? But anyway, yeah, failed there. So I spent $23.41 on fast food in between those 3 items, but it doesn't stop there. So on February 18th, I also failed because I only went to one restaurant in February, but I guess I was balling out. I spent like a lot at the Cheesecake Factory. And I spent $47.96 there, which is actually a lot. Like, so I do get appetizers when I go out. Sometimes I'll get a drink, very rarely, but I guess that time I did. I did get a more expensive entree, one of the more expensive ones on the menu, because I couldn't decide between like the steak and chicken, so I bought both. And then I even got dessert, and I guess if this includes tip, like, I guess that makes sense. But I normally do not spend that much on dining out, and I think it's because I figured if I'm already making the choice to eat at a restaurant and I only get to do it once, like I might as well get everything I want in this one time. But yeah, normally I do not spend $48 at a restaurant. If there was a scoreboard, it would say Tesla 0, food 4. So it is not surprising considering how much I love to go out. But it is still a little bit disappointing. But I'm thinking like 4 times out of 28 days, considering I'm someone who last year would eat out every other day, if not every single day. Like, I mean, I guess there is some improvement there, but yeah, that happened. Another area I was not successful in was giving. I was not planning on giving any money away to someone that I know, but I did. And even if it's like not necessarily a birthday present or anything like that, anytime I give money to someone I know, I just put it under presents. I guess I could change that category name. But that was $47.77 more than I was expecting to spend. And then I talked about how I was not going to lend anyone money in February. I talked about it specifically. And I really did try to say no. I did. And there were some funny instances throughout the month. So for example, someone was like, let me take you out for your birthday. Like, let me take you to lunch. Like, I know your birthday passed, but let's still go. I want to treat you. And I'm like, okay. So we go. We do my birthday lunch. And then at the end of the meal, they have me put it on my card. They're like, put it on your card and I'll pay you back. And I'm thinking, I'm paying for my own birthday lunch. But actually, they did pay me back promptly for that. That was just kind of a funny thing. There were just other things that came up that I didn't really want to say yes to, but I am a doormat, so I was out $47.70. Fun money, this was a part of my exceptions list because I had already signed up for it earlier, and that was the Super Bowl bets. So like, not a necessity, but it's not a mistake because it is something that I was going to make an exception for just to interact more with my coworkers in a more casual setting and like fun competition, whatever, networking, kind of blah, blah, blah. So the biggest, most costly mistakes would have been in miscellaneous. So miscellaneous itself, I had budgeted $100, didn't spend anything specifically in that category. Work expenses, I did not count as an oops day because I always get reimbursed for any work expenses. And I'll get reimbursed in April, I believe. So I didn't even cover it because I know it's always gonna zero out because it's company sponsored. But subscriptions. I spend $3 a month on subscriptions for phone storage, basically. And I would not have predicted that I would spend $225.78 on subscriptions. Not even for good reasons, just because I'm dumb. So I had explained one of them in a previous video how I needed to edit a bunch of photos. I didn't feel like doing it. I thought I would just download a photo editor. Decided, no, I would rather do it myself just to make sure it's how I want it for work. And then I just completely forgot about it, and I did not cancel within the 7 days. And even though I didn't use it, they would not refund me because they did say, like, we made the deadline clear, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, fine. So I actually didn't get refunded on any of these subscriptions like I thought I would. There was another subscription. There were 2 other subscriptions where I wanted to pay for some courses. They were like the same style of courses, but I wasn't sure which one was going to be more beneficial and be worth it. So I figured I'll sign up for both. I'll compare for both. I'll cancel before the 7 days if I don't find it valuable, or I'll cancel at least one of them if one of them appears to be the better educational service. So on one of them, I do binge some of the courses. I realize, like, I don't know if I'm really going to benefit from this, or I don't know if this is like really my style, but I forget to cancel. And because on my account, they had seen me going through some of the courses, they were like, well, you're already interacting with the content. We don't want to refund you since you missed the deadline. I'm like, okay, that's fair. And then the other one, I must have just I think I had a very busy week that week. So I don't know why I signed up for all these subscriptions on a week where I was busy and not going to be able to be paying attention to them. The other one, I did not even start looking through the content, but now I'll have it all year at least, I guess, because they charged me. I'm all for like learning and self-improvement. And what I learned is that I am not slick. So to improve, I am not going to try to like sneak my way into good deals or free deals or try to get something for free and then cancel, because like obviously I can't do it. I'm not stealthy like that. And I was considering like travel hacking or credit card hacking, where like you maximize the most amount of rewards all the time. But now, missing 3 deadlines back to back for the most simple of instructions, I realize that's probably going to be too complicated for me. So I'm going to keep it simple from now on. Everything else would have fallen into my essentials categories. I did have more good days than bad, but my bad days were pretty costly. That said, overall, I had padded some of my essentials categories just to make sure I'd have enough to cover everything and not disappoint myself in the savings. So I had budgeted $2,910.52, and I spent $2,641.11. So even with those dumb purchases that I didn't really mean to make, and of course the mistakes I made where I did intentionally buy things that were on my no-buy list, I am still under budget by $269.41 for the whole of the month. This is because I spent a ridiculously low amount of money on fuel. I budgeted $90. I think I had some trips planned or something. I don't remember. It was kind of a long time ago at this point, but I only spent $18. I was a little under in car fees and car services. I was under in groceries and toiletries and health, even though I would have rather have just spent that money, but it's okay. This chart shows me that in February, my savings rate was 47.5%, so almost 48% savings. I've been focusing on like spending 70 and then saving / investing 30. And before when I had an unhealthy sort of mindset, I was closer to 50-50. So that did bring me a little bit closer to what I was doing before 2022. It did feel like traveling back in time a little bit because I was trying to restrict myself, and it did give me some of that anxiety that I'd had before. But for the most part, I'd say I was handling it pretty well and not letting myself get too into my head. I did delete my banking app for a few days because I did find myself kind of compulsively checking it. So I was like, you know what, we're not going to get back into that habit because you're fine. So I was actually able to like delete it for like 3 days, and then I was chill, and then I re-downloaded it, and now I'm just back to my normal amount of reconciling and checking and things. But I don't know, for the most part, I was like pretty healthy about it, which I think speaks to a better mindset shift over the course of the past year, where I was trying to bring more balance into my life. And doing low spend months, like that's also part of balance. Like if you have a more expensive month, balance it out with a less expensive month. So, it doesn't hurt to like try it, I guess. But that is all for me. Sorry it took so long to do this, but I've been leaning into doing what I feel like instead of what I think I should do. So I've been binging a lot of van life videos and playing Cozy Grove. I'll probably be a little more on track and a little more timely in Q2. One thing that is not going to be reflected here, but I did say that I wanted to try to renegotiate some of my bills. My contract for my electricity ends in April, so this is the month where I am trying to find a better deal. And then I did call my Wi-Fi and I did get them to negotiate it to lower it from 75 to 65, which $10 is not a huge difference, but that is $120 savings across the course of the year. So not a huge win, but I did follow through on that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that went down. Talk to you later.